Hello.
Hey,
Can you hear me good?
yeah, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good to
Finally.
me. Yeah. How are you doing?
Fine, how are you?
It's good, it's good. All right. So, do you want to introduce yourself or should I do that?
You do that.
All
Oh,
right. So, first of all, Bina is my good friend. That's the most important part, but the second important part is she's a very great designer that's stuck in Russia
oh.
against her will, kind of. And she's one of my favorite collaborators and a very inspiring person. Yeah, so that's her. That's
So,
her.
hi everyone from Berlin.
Yeah, happy to see you.
Happy
Um,
to meet you too.
so I have a little small plan about topics we can talk about.
Okay.
Um, I think we can start from how we met and how our collaboration went.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we can just kind of move to pro and cons and how to manage collaboration, creative collaboration. Sounds
Okay.
good?
Yeah, sounds good. And I have a few questions for you.
Mm,
So prepare yourself.
do, oh my God. I thought yeah, I thought I'll be asking you most of the time.
Yeah, so you know that I like to talk to you even when you are here, but for those from my profile, I want to introduce you to Dariia. She's a very dear friend and someone that I'm luckily I met, which she captured a lot of moments that I want to explore more of that. So stay in touch and keep, watching our live streaming to get to know her and me and how we did all our work together.
Awesome. Um, so I think I can start from very beginning
Okay.
if I dare. Um,
So cheers firstly. I'm drinking tea.
yeah, me too. It's mint. So when I started my photography career after a big struggle with creativity in general, before I was painting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched to photography, and I felt very uncomfortable because I thought how I can meet like crazy creative people from the industry, especially fashion industry, because I was specifically interested in this field
Mm-hmm.
of work. And I remember I saw Bina for the first time during St. Petersburg Fashion Week, and I was like, that she has a fucking great style. I'm sorry for swearing. We don't have like standards, right? Like everybody's a doll here, so who the fuck cares, right? Yeah. And after I met her, we didn't really talk because we had, I guess, nothing in common, and I was occupied with this like painting and academy kind of studying. And um, and then when I started to develop my photography skills, I was like, who will be who will be the great person um, to collaborate with, to create something new, and who can uplift my own vision, my creative vision. And I found being on Instagram again, like for the second time after a long time. And I offered her, to work together. And she luckily she said yes. And right now we're married. No, but like creatively married, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, mm. And the first time she came to me, we had like almost no plan actually.
Yeah, we had
Am I
no
right?
plan. It just happened.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She just brought her new collection she was working on at the time, and actually, I think we should like every single piece that you created at the time, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was beginning of spring 2021. And yeah, I was like, I had no idea how I will shoot the collection, what I will do, what kind of model I want. And then you told me, anyway, I'll book a studio and let's try out a couple of shots. And I said, okay, I like that. She told me, let's try out. Because usually when photographers send me kind of a concept sometimes, I feel that it's not gonna go, okay, not all, but the majority is not gonna go how exactly the layout is. And then
Mm.
I was like, okay, why not? Let's experiment from that, because you're the first photographer actually to tell me let's try out a couple of shoots without plan. And from there, yeah, so carry on.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty funny because that's completely the opposite approach to planning and like yeah, planning the shoots and working on projects. Right
Mm-hmm,
now, I'm not experimenting at all. Like I always have a general direction and
mm-hmm,
then I created mood board to start with. But with you, it was more like I have no clue how it will go, but like I have all the fascination and love to your work. So that's how it started. And I remember like we started to shoot and it was kind of like um you as a collaborator, I think, and it didn't change much. Like I think it just kind of improved. I
mm-hmm,
think you just trusted my vision so much that um that I remember I was just like throwing basically you around the room and kind of like basically like playing, you know. It
mm-hmm,
didn't feel like work at all. And it was very good for me as a beginner to have a person to play with because I think that's the field where we are growing as
mm-hmm.
professionals.
Yeah.
I think like style will develop like over some time, but the playful approach and experimentation is just, I think it's very important to practice with
Mm-hmm.
different people. So after like after we showed your first collection and it went like great, like it was very good. I was very surprised with the results and with everything in general, like with your spirit and desire to like figure out where to go and how to live your life as a designer too, and also as a
Yeah.
person, of course.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it gave both of us a sense of direction, sort of.
Absolutely true. I agree with you. I mean, especially, I mean, I curate clothes and I don't think much of planning the shooting. So I was kind of, it guided me how I'm so connected with what I do. At the beginning, I didn't want it me to wear the clothes. I often, well, like I was hiring models, I wanted to see the clothes on those models. But then when I started to, because how I curate is connect with how I'm feeling inside. And it was very
Mm,
important to see the person that I'm truly am, you know, away from, I remember you and I, we talked about that sometimes there is a certain type of beauty that is being often represented. And I was being that beauty for most photographer. I want to capture you because you're so beautiful, la 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 lulu. And and for
yeah,
someone,
let's also talk about color, right?
yes, and color.
And the context. Like it's not just you're a black person, but you're a black person in Russia, which is like almost like extremely rare. I don't know. I think.
Yeah, and for me, at the beginning I was like, okay, why not to allow to, to see more of me. And I think that while working with you, I didn't want it to give any chance for other photographer to kind of abuse my abuse me. I wanted someone who carry no, really, to carry the camera to capture the person that I am, how his lens or her lens sees it. I'm not just a person who, filled with some clothes, makeup, and hair, and that's it. And some, because I felt that pictures are kind of something that you look back at, and you wanna, it's a memory. It became as a very important source of my progress as a designer through you. And I was like, I usually do that. I go back at my pictures at work that I have done, and I want to see, who is that person do I see. So now when I look at the picture that you have made of me, I say, okay, that's me. It just completes me. I mean, I have no doubt, like, why I look like this, or who is that person, and why, I'm satisfied with it. I'm satisfied that we are experimenting. I'm satisfied that I feel comfortable with who I am, and that was so important for me, because sometimes, for example, I have a certain way. Do your hair like that, wear this makeup, be more sexy, be more that. And I was losing my sense of me, of my curations, of the image, or whatever that gift I'm gifted to curate the clothes, So now of course, I want to go from sexy to whatever that as it flows, But I don't have to be strict in one image and just work on it. I want to be open, as how you and we open through our collaboration together while we shoot at the studio. You just tell me, stay there. So I'm telling you, that's okay, and you're capturing. You're capturing without specific, or I mean, maybe for campaign, it's important, yes, to have, but as a curator, it's very important to express and explore and be open widely without limitation. So yeah.
I think the important thing here to say is that like to define who you are in this process, like when you're being captured, you're basically being a model. And there is two forms of like human presence. You can be a model, and then photographers. Yeah, sorry. And then photographer is demanding your role, like what kind of person or character rather you supposed to be.
Yeah.
And another way is to working with a creative person with like a persona, right? Here you're not a blank canvas at all. Like you have feelings and you have a character and you have something to say, you have a style, and basically then the job of photographer is to kind of document it with a little changes, but not like to direct it a little bit, but not to change the persona. And that's very important part
Yeah.
in what you were saying, because I think you was mostly were taken as a model in this specific context and not as a creator, not as a person. So I think it's like sometimes it's important to define what kind of role you are playing in what, like in what surrounding, let's say.
Yeah, it's all matters about the communication. Even if I was a model, it's very important to communicate. It's like how you and I were communicating, because you capturing, you want work for yourself, I want for myself as well. Unless of course I was just a model who's working with an agency, and
Mm,
therefore it requires a different also way of communication.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree. So like
But
then
only this experience here, as you said, that being an African in Russia. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think it plays
Yeah.
a big part of your existence right now. So do you want actually like let's talk a little bit of about your creative process and what
Mm-hmm.
you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
We can go back to collaborations a little bit later.
Okay.
So, you were studying design in Cyprus, right?
No, in Cyprus I have studied public relation advertising, has nothing to do with design.
But then you moved to Milano or
Yeah,
Italy?
then I took a break. I remember I took a break and I went to Milano. I just went for a course because I needed it. Uh, I needed to to leave the part that I wanted to, because I gave 4 years of my life to study at the university, and I had very little time to study design. I couldn't give up the university. Okay, though to parents, especially my mother, thought that it's very important that I should go to university because design has nothing to do with life career.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
tell me
So
about it.
yeah, I kind of went, and of course I try to live the dream that I dreamt to be since I was a little girl. Of course, I have faced some difficulties because, as I understood, I'm not a designer, like a fashion designer who skates very fast. Also, I don't know how to copy other art. I just
Mm.
knew there was something in my mind that keeps want to come out. And so while I was being at the classroom with all the students around drawing, I was the slowest one. I was looking and wondering, when am I gonna go faster? And I was like, and actually it terrified me. I remember every time when I finished a class at the end of the day, I will walk to the metro and I will think, maybe my mother, she was right. I shouldn't be a designer. Maybe I should go back to university. Yes, I had these doubts and thoughts in me. And I remember I cried from time to time and I wanted to give up. And then, suddenly I went to the teacher and I told him, I can't draw what you're telling me to draw from the books. Can I draw what I want? Then the teacher he looked at me like that and he was like, yeah, sure. Because anyway, he was tired to wait on me to draw the whole day one piece of leg.
Probably.
Yes. But then it gave me a little bit of relax. And then I started to draw very fast, only the thing that I wanted to draw, which is clothes. And then they sent me to pattern making of how to construct the clothes for the basics. And from there, it led me, it was just the basic. It gave me the basic. And then I started to follow more like my own vision, what I wanted to create. And then I returned back to Cyprus, of course.
Of course, like it's obvious. Yeah, and so you were studying in Italy, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice any differences in, let's say, education or creative process, or with like certain advantages of yours or minuses of studying abroad?
Absolutely. I think that the difference that if you're studying in a place, for example, like Milan or Paris, you will have the opportunity to work in the field that you chose to study. But in that moment, I remember I had to go back because I have university to finish. And I wish I have stayed because my classmates, they stayed and a lot of them went for internship. And I remember that time internship was a lot of like great fashion houses, Roberto Cavalli, Armani. Also, they were hiring for H&M. Maragoni was taking internship for students as well. And I could, when my classmates will come and discuss their internship and their plans, I was like, maybe I should stay. It's a great opportunity for me. Why am I going back? But, well, I have to finish my university, And I felt that there's more opportunity to start up, from there, being a student, because there is a lot of things to do regarding, if you're a shoe designer, if you're a photographer, if whatever. So there are some places that the school, they send the students to grow out their skills, and that was, for me, it was good. It was great.
So basically but it was in Milan, right? Correct.
Yeah, in Milan.
Yeah. So you're saying that education in Milano is pretty helpful to kind of blow up your career, like to achieve a certain like collaboration that you want to, and to have an opportunity to work for big fashion houses.
Yeah, absolutely, because a lot of my classmates have done that. So yeah.
But then you went back to Cyprus, and then you flew to Russia and stuck there. Is it correct?
Yes, I had no idea. How did I end up here, really? I mean, I feel sometimes when you're planning something, because I remember before even going to high school, remember while skating, when I was young, I just wanted to follow this direction. I had a huge plan. And I thought, okay, firstly, I wanted to go to Paris. I didn't want to go to Milan. So when I went to the school, I started learning French every day. So I will, dream. And I was watching fashion TV and all this. And it was only about Paris and, And then at the age of 18, I was like, okay, I'm applying to design school in Paris. And I was accepted. So when it came for my mother to approve, to sign, she said no. And therefore, all this, my plan has just kind of, fall off. And then I tried to pick up my plan. Then I went to, Milan, even though my mom, she wasn't convinced, but I convinced her. Then I returned to Cyprus. And again, after finishing university, I was trying to carry on my plan and go to Paris. But then from there, I ended up here because because really every time when I was trying to make the plan to go, like the plan that I built it when I was young, something pulls me back, directs me another direction. And therefore I try to kind of I try to leave my dream where I am now, like I stuck in here. I thought, really. I mean, I thought that and this is the first thing came to my mind when I realized I stuck in here. I just decided that I'm gonna send my working stuff to me at home, and I start working that because I wanted to kind of keep on dreaming, keep on living the plan that I have done for myself. And while doing, I was trying to find a way, how am I going to come out from this situation that I am, and like being stuck in Russia. And at the beginning, it was so, okay, I will come out soon. But after 8 years, start to get on my last freaking nerve.
Yeah, but when actually like you understood that you're stuck, and then decided to go back to your creative process, when this moment happened?
I remember it took me just few months.
So you was kind of like hungry of your artistic.
Yes, I couldn't, because I remember while I was at the university, I was studying and working at the same time. So I couldn't just come here and sit and wait that, okay, things are going to be resolved and I shouldn't be doing nothing. So I started to I started to, I have this kind of rush, or kind of, I'm aching for making something. So of course, I started creating. Of course, I didn't know what was going on because I was terrified, was stressed out. I have no complete vision of what I'm doing, but I just started to do, you know, and um, and then I start to come out to look for places where I can meet fashion people, where I would know what to do, you know, to show what I'm doing. Of course, I wasn't that good, but I was trying. And
Not good in communication, not good like with creating what you
Yeah,
wanted to
I
do.
wasn't good with, no, with communication is fine for me, but I was I wasn't good. I wasn't good with design. I remember because I just finished and I was trying to explore more, especially technical sewing, organization, all this. You know, there was a process that I could see that I needed time to improve. I needed to learn more. And so I expand myself. Of course, I was going out to meet some people from St. Petersburg, show that I'm a designer. Of course, my profile wasn't that great. I wasn't, I had just few things, few images. I remember I had few shows in Cyprus. I had, you know, I had some activities, but it needed more skills, more improvement. Now I understand that. So, but anyway, it didn't stop me to not go and tell to the people, "Hey, look what I do." So,
Yeah, I think that that's a very important part. Like especially when you're starting anything, like any creative career, you need to just go out there and to say like, "Hello, my name is Dariia and I'm a photographer and I have just two photos in my Instagram, but they're fucking amazing and you will love me. And I'm like the sweetest person and it'll be very easy to shoot with me. Please work with me. Like I'm definitely worthy, you know."
yeah.
So I think you did like you did a good job. Mm.
Yeah. So also, I wanted to ask you the same question, like, how was it for you when moving to Berlin? How did you interact with locals and creative people to show them that I'm a photographer, I can do that, can we collaborate? How did it feel for you?
So when I came here, I start to write to a lot of photographers, like
Mm-hmm.
established photographers, to assist to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think it was very helpful because once you established any sort of connection with a like local community,
Mm-hmm.
especially fashion community, which is not huge in every city. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
it's basically the same shit wherever you go. In like in Paris, in Berlin, in Milano, or in Moscow or St. Petersburg. That's the
Mm-hmm.
same. Like there is the same group of people who are doing the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes like new faces appearing, but basically like the same number of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they connected to the first photographer to whom I was assisting here was Philip,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy offered uh, to for me to assist to him for editorial,
Mm-hmm.
and that was extremely important experience for me, also learning experience
Mm-hmm.
because I was, for the first time, I was assisting to a German photographer who is working on a much higher level than I do, who is shooting like printed editorials, huge page campaigns, and he just much more skilled.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "So, you'll just hang around and help me out with construction and stuff."
Mm-hmm.
and he explained how to build a construction of lighting, and I was like legitimately shocked. I was like, light not with two sources, but with like three, and then huge frame. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck? So, like, during this process, I learned a lot. Also, I learned how to, um, the way it was very important to look how he was communicating with the team, because when you're shooting like a big editorial, you're always like, you're not alone. There is like stylist, assistant of stylist, bunch of assistants of photographers,
Mm-hmm.
makeup artists,
Mm-hmm.
hairstylists, models, and it's just a big team, and you need to somehow manage it. Like, if there is no producer,
Yeah.
so for me, it was very good to learn how to manage this amount of people, because that's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I connected to my close friend at the moment, Dan Carabas,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also a very established photographer, who taught me a lot, and to whom I was assisting, and he was assistant to me. So that's like ongoing, very kind of like fruitful friendship,
Mm-hmm.
which I find like very important in establishing like professional and, yeah, like personal connections with people, especially
Mm-hmm.
if you're in a new city. So like
Mm-hmm.
my first important lesson from moving to another country and building career here is to connect to as many people as possible. And then I remember other people, like young designers, start to reach out to me
Mm-hmm.
by themselves. Like, I was very shocked. I was like, why do you know I'm here?
Did you promote yourself? I
No,
mean,
no, 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 no. Like, that's the point. I don't remember putting like any effort in like,
promotion.
yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't post anything. I think
Mm-hmm.
just existing, and somebody saw my profile, and then I did this very good collaboration with designers from UDK, local university,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that was very important for me. Also, and then after our photo shoot was published, and it was like pretty funny because it was published in a Siki mag, and Siki
Mm-hmm.
mag and editor of Siki mag, Alejandro, he's also a very good friend of mine, with whom
Mm-hmm.
we actually um, met in Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
because we have like a common friend, but he moved to Berlin at the same exact time
As you
as I
are.
did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then things start to kind of like come together. Like, every other interaction led to a better connection, to a bigger project. And yeah, I think so. Important part is to connect with people from a new city,
Mm-hmm.
and as much as possible. And right now in live stream there is Anna. Hello, Anna. She's also a photographer, and
Mm-hmm.
she's from Paris. And she's moving to Berlin, and she's doing basically the same thing. She went to
Mm-hmm.
find a job as an assistant within this community, and I think
Mm-hmm.
she's doing like a great stuff. So good luck to Anna. And
So, sorry to distract you, but was it easy for you to kind of involve, I mean, to interact with people because you arrived new? Was it easy for you to interact with them? How did you feel? How did you felt when you were interacting with them? Did you feel that yes, I'm in the right place? I'm learning for my curative, activities. How did you feel?
so I am as a person, I'm really about growing experiences and like doing better the next time.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was very important to gain a knowledge and to uplift my skills to a certain level. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, every possibility that showed in my way was extremely exciting, and I would not say that it was challenging or difficult. It was more how I can do better next time.
Okay.
And thanks God I have like my English in a decent level, and my German is also
Mm-hmm.
like I can speak certain
Like
things. Like I'm
communicate,
not,
yes.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
not as good as in English, but it's it's still all right.
It's just to manage your dialogue for
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
like
I
my
can
Russian.
explain. Yeah, probably I can order a certain like coffee and croissant or German pretzel. Yeah, so um and that was very important part because communication in a creative process is extremely like it's extremely important, like
Mhm.
crucially important. Um Luckily for me, Europe is very close mentally, like mentality wise
Mhm.
to Russia or to like certain parts of Russia, and
Mhm.
I didn't I didn't experience any um difficulty with like mentality wise. Like
Mentality.
we always shared the same vision and
Vision.
same ideas,
Mhm.
or when we were not, then we tried to figure this out, and always it was a very good um, conversation, like leading to a good resolution of the conflict.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that was very important. Like one of the most important experiences right now. It was a collaboration between me and Leo. Leo is a designer from Spain. He
Mhm.
based in Madrid, and he reached or his, let's say, agent reached out to me, and they wanted to shoot a lookbook or editorial for his new collection
Mhm.
while they were visiting Berlin for a big event called Berlin Music and Video Film Festival. Like it was a big deal.
Mhm.
And I remember on the mood board stage, everything went well, and during the shoot, everything went well. And
Mhm.
I was like checking on him and his artistic vision all the time.
Mhm.
And like everything went well. But at some point, when the pictures were already selected and edited, we noticed that our vision are not
Similar.
the same.
The same. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for me that was very challenging because I basically faced a problem.
Mhm.
Like how I can save my vision as an artist, because
Mhm.
it's a collaboration, right? Like we need to keep it in mind. Like
Yeah.
both of us want to have something out of it,
Something.
right?
Yeah. Of course. Mhm.
And so I wanted to kind of stand on my ground and to say like, look, dude, like that's my artwork. Like that's my vision. You
Mhm.
improve it. Like
Mhm.
you approved it. So we need to do something about it. And it was
Yeah.
kind of like very angry because I was like, but I thought we agreed.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
then I
I
figured
can
out
understand.
we didn't.
Uh huh.
And then I had a very good discussion with my friend Nicola, who said he's also a photographer. Respect to Nicola, who said, "But that's a collaboration. That's what it is. That's
Mhm.
where you are not thinking only about your vision, but also you need to
Think
um think
others.
about other person, yeah,
Mhm.
who has his vision, and his vision is also strong. And
Mhm.
the idea of collaboration is to create something like in between yours and his or her
Yeah.
vision,
Mhm.
and to like and also I think because right now I'm very defensive about my work and about my style because I'm
Mm-hmm.
developing it. So I was very defensive about it, but
Mm-hmm.
then I thought, but I already I already shoot it. All my persona is there. All my work
Mm-hmm.
is already there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I needed is already there. So basically, what is needed right now is
Mm-hmm.
to bring the material that we have
Yeah.
to a new level, and the new level will be much better because I will learn something. I will apply his vision to my work, and it will be stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it as a growth process,
Mm-hmm.
and we re-edited the whole fucking editorial. It's like 40 images
Wow, that's a lot
with
of.
the whole retouching thing. We took our time. I think it took us 1 month or
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit more to kind of um, understand the direction and change the images to have a certain look.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So damn, that was like a huge learning experience. And I'm telling this also because I find it very interesting and with very new experience from this point. I find
Mm-hmm.
it's very interesting that collaboration sometimes can have a different qualities. For
Mm-hmm.
example, with collaborating with you, most of the time, when it was like creative collaboration and not work related,
Mm-hmm.
it was more I'm just you're present, but I'm guiding you. It felt
Mm-hmm.
like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I am basically being a creative director and you helping me out
Achieve
uh
your.
to sh-
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And with Leo it was more like damn, I need to be aware of like his feelings,
Mm-hmm.
and about
Mm-hmm.
his strong creative vision, and he has damn a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
Mm-hmm.
like two people with very difficult characters met at the same ground and trying to stood this ground. It was like fucking dangerous. But I'm very proud of this collaboration, and hopefully, like it will be printed or exhibited somewhere soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's see how it will go. But both of us are very satisfied with the results and how it went in general, even though it was challenging sometimes. But I think collaboration is also a growing process. It's not always about just one creative person, it's always about two.
Yeah, isn't it? Don't you find it challenging to kind of, because it's not easy, even if it's a collaboration. I remember I had a collaboration with few people, and it always was frustrating me, and it gave me this feeling is that
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to collaborate anymore. I'm tired. Yeah, honestly, if it's like that, I don't want it. So it takes you some time to find uh, people who match your similar vision. And therefore I say, even when you and I we work like openly without, like, we do experiment creative,
Mm,
experimentation. But I remember when I asked you also to do a lookbook, like, just the at the from the House of Love collection with Dasha, you
mm,
understood what I wanted. I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of trusted you, just the feeling. Of course it took some time for me to find a person that because it's not easy for me to allow the person, like, okay, I'm just here, I'm present, and it doesn't happen. But I think with you, it was a kind of, firstly, it was the communication, our first shooting. You were talking to me, I was talking to you. And then we kind of proceed. The communication built it kind of a trust, and also allowed me to trust you to do, either if it was kind of experimenting Or if I said, Dariia, I want just a lookbook because I want it for my work. So at that time, I understood you're the one after so many years. So, and it was so, and that's why this summer I was I was then motivated to open myself again, because I felt there is a lack of communication when you meet, you know, when you meet, of course, new people, but then sometimes it could work, but most of the time there is a frustration. There is like, okay, okay, since we made the project together, we need to come out in a one vision and make it work anyway. And for me, with you, it's not like that. It's not just make it work, it just works.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are just lucky to have each other, to just to meet, and to kind of that we build this trust.
Yeah.
But I think like most of the times the communication and this trust takes like lots of time, and
Yeah.
yeah, but it takes like both people
True.
to figure it out.
True.
So I think I had like, yeah, like challenging experience too, of
Mm-hmm.
course.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think it's much more helpful for every creative to to think like in a learning way, to
Learning way.
to 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 take every challenging experience not as a bad experience,
Mm-hmm.
but to ask yourself after you're done or somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in the process, how I can improve it, how I can learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
So um like I had a bunch of weird experiences. It was like it was basically like job related,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just a creative
Period.
collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a shooting for one very important, how's it called, like she was in charge of like big contracts of like Russian celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
and she needed to have a shoot for her profile, like to show that she's like professional and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, yeah, sometimes experiences are just for learning. Like
For learning.
they're not for your enjoyment and fun. Like you're
Very
not all the time meeting people who are very close to your like mindset or your creative perspectives. Sometimes you
mm-hmm.
are meeting like challenges, and this kind of challenges are a place of growth. It's not a
Yeah.
place of joy, probably. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think like you can bring it to like completely next level. You can also enjoy the like
Mm-hmm.
the challenges. You'll be like, oh damn, that's so fucked. I love it.
Yeah.
But but I cannot see myself there yet.
Yeah.
So this experience was more like a learning experience, and I think like I became stronger, and that was the time when I understood that I need to write a contract. Every
Mm-hmm.
time when I'm doing a page shoot, I need to write a contract, what person with whom I'm shooting allowed to do with photos, or what this person are not supposed to do.
I have learned this
Also,
lesson too. Yeah.
yeah, because and actually like it's ongoing process. Like
It's
I thought that I already prepared the contract, or like verbal contract even, or like written one, and people will understand it, but hell no.
no, no, yeah.
um
It had to be written, and it's the first thing you hand out. There is no communication. If you get it, you get it. So this is something that I also learned. And it kind of it took so much of me to reach to this point, like, hey, Bina, you're no longer, a startup. Start writing down your contract and agreement and the way how you work and you do things. It's not that you need to improve your, I don't know how to say, I need a portfolio. I don't need a portfolio. Now it's a work. and I have to take it seriously, because otherwise other people wouldn't take it. They will think, okay, because sometimes, there's a trick here. When you so much love your work, when you so much love what you do, you kind of forget the part that where it's for me, because I'm too passionate when it comes to creativity. And I forget the part that I need to be a little bit serious with being professional. Like, hey, not because I love what I do too much, it doesn't mean that I don't know, like, this is work as well for me. So that's something that I learned. I have to find the balance in between. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have balance in these things. So, one of the topics that we wanted to discuss is this like work and life balance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have damn a lot of to say right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Because recently I faced a huge burnout. Like not of course, like I'm not extremely overworked, but I had a period that was related to moving to another country and trying to establish myself here.
Mm-hmm.
And recently understood that I don't have a rest at all. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not resting. I'm just all the time working. When you're a freelance photographer or a designer
Mm-hmm.
that is trying to build like its own brand,
Mm-hmm.
damn, you're working all the time.
Yeah.
You're not working in a like a normal sense of the word, but you're
And
working all the time. Like your mind is always spinning somewhere around your new project, your
yeah.
like past experiences, what you want to do, with whom you want to do, like how to finish this, how to start that. And I found myself like being in this trap of having no fucking idea where my where I am at, like how where my life starts and
Mm-hmm.
where my work ends,
Yeah.
because it was too connected.
Yeah, I remember I was doing that for the past 8 years. I never took care of myself. I remember that I was working 24 hours. Like, if I'm going to the bed, I'm with my iPad or my phone, I'm editing, I'm checking, I'm trying to go through to check what have I done with this collection, what I need to do, where have I sent it to whom, because I needed to expand from my work. So I found myself, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything without organization of time. And it was very important for me to teach myself I should rest in this specific time. I should do something else. I should seek for help. I should ask other people to help. And then I kind of told, hey, I can do everything myself, and that was not healthy. That was not healthy, because I had no time to improve from my skills. I had no time to be healthy, to take care of myself mentally and physically. And after 8 years, I have learned that.
Thanks God you did, sis.
Yes. And I was like, wait a second, what am I doing? Am I working, or am I living? Or does work has to be like this? Do you really have to work? I was like, wait a second, why the people who goes to the offices, they start work at this time and they finish work at this time? Maybe I should,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I should teach myself that, because it's also work. Where is the time for myself? Maybe I want to read the book, maybe I want to spend time with my friends, maybe I just want to. So I kind of start to think about those things, because I gave them up. I remember it was very little that I had time to do something else. Even exercising. I remember I wanted to do activity of work. Okay, I do workout, but I had no time to come out of my home and do it outside or in the summer. So now I have set time. I will not overwork. I will not only think the problems of the work. When there is a problem with the work, I will take a rest. I will do something else to refresh my mind. And then I will come out to figure, and then I'm more relaxed to understand where am I going, what I'm going to do, how I will solve the problem. It was very important. Yeah.
I'll totally agree with you because I remember the moment that I was sitting in a living room editing a video at 3 a.m. and texting with a guy in Tinder at the same time. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
There
Like
you go.
that's not a life. I'm working and I'm like, and it's very late, and tomorrow I'll do the same, and my life it's kind of like repeating itself
Yeah.
and going in circles, and it's kind of productive, but because I don't have a like certain schedule, I feel confused because I think I'm not working enough, but then I'm overworking because
Overworking.
it's
Yeah.
like it's not all right to work like at 3 fucking a.m. And we
Yeah.
can
No, no,
talk
no.
like a lot about like creatives, like artists, let's say, that are always working, right? That like Picasso was painting all the time, like Dali was in his studio like for months, like working on one canvas.
Yes.
But
Yes.
at the same time, like how many of us are Picassos or Dalis, right?
No, in our current time, we are none of that. we have other we have other things we also need to deal with. Life challenges. Of course, they had life
They
challenges.
didn't have it, yeah, for sure.
No, of course they had it, but now it's absolutely different. I mean, we could, excuse me, we need to come out to earn a living to take care of ourselves. We need to think of that. We need to think of our people, like close people to go out to, because we have grown up differently and our time is different. But for them, they had this strictly traditional environment which they developed. It was okay for their time, I believe, because
I'm not agree about that.
I don't know, because
I mean, if to like if we are talking like about this specific people, they like I because I'm very obsessive about personalities and stuff. So I know somewhat about their life and difficulties and challenges. Both of them were fucking like mental freaks,
yeah, mental freedom.
had very like difficult personality, and they face a lot of challenges like money wise or relationship wise, like family wise, artistic wise, like in every field. I think like we need to stop thinking about this kind of people as gods and to think about them as people, as just as you and I who are struggling with creative process and dealing with routine. Unfortunately or fortunately, they didn't think about it because I guess like this subject of mental health was not a thing,
Yeah,
like
wasn't
it was
accepted.
not term.
Yeah, yeah,
But like we are here, like we need to um again, like I guess there is no like right or wrong way to live the life and the wrong way to be creative. But I think like I decided for myself that I'll need to have a very kind of like a very certain life routine that is connected to working. So I'm closing my laptop and I'm not answering any emails after 8. I'm just like, I'm done. After 8, I'm not an artist. I'm a human. I'm
yeah.
meeting my friends. I'm reading books. I'm just walking. I'm doing sports. I'm doing everything that is not connected to my work.
Mm-hmm.
And then after this time, when I'm like extremely full with everything that life can offer, next morning when I'm starting to work, I'm fucking excited. I'm like, oh my God, I'll work on this project. wait to see the photos that I did like 2 days ago. God,
Yeah,
it's so exciting. Like every day it's like excitement. And
yeah,
that's such a new thing for me to kind of be excited about the next day. What kind of a new challenge or a new interesting thing you can work on because
yeah,
that's something that you're waiting for.
yeah,
So
yeah.
damn, that's new. Like this Sonntagsausflugs.
For me
Damn.
too, you know, because I remember there are times that I will sit on my sewing table until midnight, until maybe 3, 4 o'clock, and then I'm going to bed. I feel so much pain, like somebody had squeezed me up, and the next morning I'm coming. I have this passion inside to sit and create more. But then I was really destroying my health, and I was thinking, wait a second, do I need to do it this way? I was thinking, when you're tired, when I'm tired, I push myself to work more, and I don't say to myself, stop, you need to rest. But now, even when I think, okay, I'm not feeling well today, I will not think to go to the fabric store to look some fabric. I just take my time to rest. It's like, I do it tomorrow. Before, no, I say, no, 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 I'm going. I don't I don't have time to rest because I need this, I need that. And I start like, but now, no. When I have time, I'm feeling good, I go, I do it. And my time, for example, morning, I do that. Afternoon, I do this. And I remember to take break for myself. And social media as well. I don't spend a lot of time on social media just posting things that I don't feel like posting just to kind of attract audience. I like for me I felt that I need a balance. When I need to post, anyway, the audience who are following me will be waiting to see something new. And if I have something new, it has to be something, I really meant to share with you so you understand what's going on. But I just didn't want it every day to kind of put some kind of things that just for putting. And that's also I learned because it's important that I have a community where they will be waiting to support my work wherever I'm ready to put whatever I want. It's not that I need every day like social media routine. No, in order to build up your profile, you need every day to show people something, post something. And this is kind of lacking people to interact. That's why people became like a watchers. I remember I discussed this with you. Like they became, I felt like social media, especially Instagram, became like a TV that people just keep staring because of the information that keeps going so fast that
Yeah.
every day there is something, and became a routine of just watching but not
Mm.
interacting. And for me, I felt for a lot of creative people, uh, they're building this profile is for the followers to engage and support their whatever they're doing. And of course, if it's a fun page, of course you can, but for most creators on Instagram, they need an engagement, support, Dariia needs one. I do, other creative people as well. So yeah, it's not, that's why I don't. Sometimes I ask myself why I have so many followers, but there's no engagement. Because again, the routine of every day you have to post something made people only to watch. What she has today. Okay, I wait for tomorrow. But there is a specific feeling that I wanted to give my audience. I'm not here for you just to watch me, but I want you to interact with what I do because this is part of my living. It's part of my work. It's part of who I am. So let's interact and support each other. That's the new me learning how to manage my social media activities as well.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's a very interesting point of view, but I think it's kind of not really realistic.
Not
Um,
realistic,
because
yeah.
because because in attention span right now, like it's a fucking huge problem in our society.
Yeah.
Like exactly, like it's very visible on TikTok, for example.
Yeah.
Like I bet you will forget the third video you was watching 2 minutes ago
Yeah.
because it was just 15 seconds, and then you're just forgetting about it. And it
Yeah.
should be like something extreme to for you to remember. That's
Mhm.
why I think like Instagram and TikTok are pretty kind of like difficult platforms to work with because we are so used to consuming content,
Mhm.
different kind of content,
Mhm.
that it's not treasured anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I am, yeah, and then when there is so many of great artists that sometimes showing on the feeds, but because they're not posting much, because like production is big, or like they're doing this project that is like long lasting, and they want to have a mystery before to publish this like huge book, for example, body of work,
Mhm.
then they're not showing up on the list of on your feed just because they was not like regularly posting.
Posting. Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a huge like and sad thing to think about.
Yeah. So,
But mm,
yeah, I wanted to ask you about how do you feel about your creative process while being in Berlin? Is there any difference between,
um
yeah, between
mhm.
when you were working here and then there? How do you is
I think it because I was not working here. I was basically improving my portfolio, trying to live a sustainable, good life as
mhm
a creative and as a person. I kind of I had no time to blame myself for being lazy or for not being a good artist. And I
mhm
just did things that felt interesting to me. I gave
mhm
myself a freedom not to like run and like scream collaboration, collaboration. I need a project to work on. I was kind
yeah
of like slowly building a list of people I want to work with.
mhm
And I also had this new project
mhm
and new goal for the next year to have an
mhm
exhibition about this project that I'm working on, the underwater shoots.
yeah, I
And
really like them, really.
thank you,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Yeah.
And I think because I met so many of inspiring people here, like especially photographers
Mm,
and designers, it's very uplift my vision and expand my artistic kind of um, viewpoint. I think like right now I can see more exciting stuff than I was able before. Like it
mhm
just the horizon like expanded like couple of times,
mhm
and that was very important. So I think having a personal project that I'm excited about in the long run, and then being able not to pressure myself in the sake of earning money, that
mhm
helped me a lot.
mhm
So I think that my experience of being photographer here in Berlin and there in back in Russia is like pretty different,
mhm
because
mhm
here I am more focused actually on who I want to be rather than what I should be and what I should
mhm
be doing.
mhm
Because when like money plays a huge part in our life, like it's a very important part,
of course, yeah.
but then when you focus too much on this, let's say, problem of earning enough or like earning money with just your creative work,
mhm
then you cannot allow yourself to think, okay, what's the next step as me as an artist, like
mhm
what kind of challenge I want to have right now, what I'm lacking.
mhm
So
Mm-hmm.
right now I had lots of time to think, or rather to experience new things that I was not capable of before.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's pretty different experience, and I think here I am becoming more myself, and also because of my surrounding. I live in a pretty clean apartment in the sense of visual textures. Like the
Uh-huh.
walls are white,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I don't have like lots of paintings and stuff. And I feel that this kind of clean and spacious environment is helping me to focus on my stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
what kind of thing I want to create to surround myself. So
Mm-hmm.
that my art became a new, let's say, like visual landscape rather
Mm-hmm.
than like this crazy, sometimes like Russian golden new, wallpaper and stuff.
Like mine here.
Yeah, exactly. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. Like I cannot. I was so suffering in and stuck in textures, like as in a game of Sims. Like when you
Yeah.
just like going trying to go through the table or something. I was like, I felt like that. It was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't want it to change it. I just thought anyway, we'll be here. I'm not focusing on it very much, but there are certain things which uh which makes me feel myself. And yeah, so it's very interesting how kind of the landscape could change and make you focus. For me, I start to grow a lot of plants in the room where I'm resting, and it actually makes me feel as if I am growing the clothes. I don't know, but I have this is the recent feeling that I
Mm.
have. It calms me down, it connects me, and I remember my recent collection, which I did, and I was kind of out of, feeling, but I experiment like how I was connecting with the trees that I plant on my room. And it kind of, I feel I want more and more. And every night I was like, please grow more.
Are you talking to your clothes like that too?
The
Like to
closest
your
I was
designs, like please grow more.
with the closest I will say, what I'm gonna do is, maybe I need to cut here, maybe I need to, and yeah, and I just, it just flowed. Like I feel that I'm experimenting even more. I'm not afraid to restrict myself, like, uh, I have this balance of how I can make it wearable, yet how I want to apply my idea, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Plants and clothes,
Yeah, plants and clothes.
growing and cutting.
I guess.
So I think we can move to the last part, which is what you're gonna do. What you're gonna do next? Like, what's your plan about your nearest future? What's what are you excited about?
Huh. As you know, I have I have no I haven't had so much plan about the nearest future, but I want to, while I'm resolving my issue by being stuck in Russia, I am going to experiment more this autumn. So, and I feel this experimentation while creating a new collection is gonna be really, it's gonna bring something in me that I'm gonna feel more empowered, and I feel somehow it's gonna pushes me somewhere farther, but I don't know where. And also, I want to make a exhibition with the reflection collection. So that's my
Okay, what is it about? What
So
what do you mean reflection?
the collection which I curated for this, spring summer 2022. At the beginning of this year, I have prepared sketches what I wanted this collection to be: so romantic, so sensual, so relaxing. So I don't know, something that I felt this feeling, because somehow I felt that my issue is coming to an end, and I will see my mother, I will see my loved ones, and so the collection had this kind of vibes. Everything so soft, so, and and so colorful. I had it. I even felt how the models will be in the in the forest or at the park with the beautiful flowers, and this, they will be capturing. And I didn't even know that you would not be here, because everything happened. I said Dariia will be shooting the models, your brother will be doing the filming. Everything that time was just planned suddenly, just like that. So when these changes happen in our current world, I dropped out. I couldn't touch this collection. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna take my time. I'm not gonna curate anything now. I'm just gonna take my time and see how I will reflect to my feeling, to the situation around me and people and everything. So it started like I drew hearts and I wanted more hearts. I don't know, suddenly I felt that I need to use more hearts. And I started with one dress, the second dress, the third dress. And then my friend, she took me to the forest just to relax and kind of, ease my mind. And then I took a transparent fabric. And this transparency reflects how sometimes people, when they experience like a huge transformation in their life, they want to be transparent to overcome the problem, but then they don't know how. And then they seek for love, they seek for affection, they seek for kind of, to feel that we are safe, we're okay, nothing gonna trouble us. And so I took this piece with me to the forest, and I started to feel like to touch the fabric and see how it moves with the wind, everything. And I chose white and silver. White, for me, it was the kind of color that kind of purify everything. It calms everything. So step by step, I curated the dresses according to the people that I have met during this transformation of this time, the fear, the the belonging for being closer to your people, to your family, to your loved ones, the fear of having things to be changed and out of control. And this collection reflects all this emotion that I have been receiving and the feeling, and even my own fear of that. Wait a second, I'm going back again to the process where I was doing to come out of my own situation, and there I come back again. So these pieces had all this feeling, and also the shape was kind of very loose, and the sleeve, and because I didn't want to concentrate what was going on, but kind of the color and the cut, and more hearts and more hearts. So yeah.
Classic Bina. Lots
Yeah.
of
And
hearts.
it was very, actually I didn't know I was going to finish the collection, but when I talked to you and I told you that I wanted to take pictures of this collection in the forest, then when I arranged for the shooting with my friend, she was supposed to help me, she got ill and then she couldn't. Then I wanted to catch the summer before it goes away. And I was like, okay, what I need to do, I should go by myself and do it on my own, because you motivated me to do like self-portrait. Why not? Then I carried my dresses and I went to the park, because I couldn't even go to the forest as I had the vision in my mind. And I started just displaying my items on the trees, because that's how I felt I wanted it. And why I put the clothes on the tree? Because I felt the reflection of the nature. Wherever that is happening, nature stays. you know, but they kind of adjust according to the situation that goes on silently.
Mm.
But then you keep still, so you overcome, like nature overcome summer, spring, winter, whatever, autumn, and the wind and air. So it kind of, I was trying to look, how can I shift my mindset to overcome my own issues in a
Mm-hmm.
silent and calm and ease way. So I was more connected to this time.
Yeah, but so you what tell a little bit about this exhibition that is ahead of you. What is it
So
about? So
yeah,
I got the like origin of the like transparency. So what?
so no,
So what is it about?
the exhibition will be for the audience to view the new collection, but it will be a lot of hearts inside the space. And
Mm.
there is a dress that is made out of heart, just with like pillows. I'm still working on that dress because I have cut a lot of hearts, like small hearts that I'm stitching by my hand and filling them up. So I wanted the audience to pick up also those, to choose the pieces,
So it
yeah,
will
the
be
sizes of the
interactive.
hearts, yes. So depends on the heart that you choose. This is how you love yourself, how you
Oh,
interact.
that there come. Wow.
Yeah, so yeah,
That's intense. That's intense. I hope. Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks God that I'm not part of this exhibition. Like, thanks God I'm not going there to check your exhibition out because I would probably take the little one just because like I find like small shapes more interesting than big ones. Damn, that will be like a huge trap.
So I just know I intentionally wanted to do, because I wanted to see how people interact with themselves through certain things. And
Yeah.
it's also gonna teach me about myself. Why am I using all this hard? Like, some people tells me, Bina, sometimes we feel you create so beautifully because you have experienced so much pain, and that you are, yeah, through so much pain that you are like this healing. I say the pain that I had, of course, when I lost a dear friend of mine 2 years ago, you were present. It opened me up and it shocked me, of course. And for me, when I feel there is a certain changes in our world or the society, the purest thing for me to go to is creativity. And I don't think what I need to do. I just trust that whatever that is comes out of me, it was meant to be. And therefore, if it's hard, it was meant to be. If something else, it was meant. If roots, if whatever. So it was just the matter of trusting the,
Mm.
the current moment of how I feel and how I'm reflecting to the situation.
Yeah, I guess it's very important part of your creative process,
Yeah.
like to go with the flow, if you will, and to trust of everything like that's happening, like which is pretty pretty like stressful, like from my point of view, but if it works for you, it's like amazing. So are you ready to announce like the time of date of exhibition, or it just like project to work on and the date is open?
Not yet, because I will be waiting for my friend Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt that, I don't know, but anyway, Veronica should have an exhibition in October,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to, because she, while her trip, she had curated a very interesting artworks, and I was thinking that we will do an exhibition together. But then,
Mm.
it could be me. Maybe, I'm not sure when the date will be, but it will be in the winter, surely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Happy about your plans.
Thank you. Wait a
Sounds
second. What about
exciting.
you? I miss you very much.
So, and Leo somewhere there, like in the messages, in the comments, he asked about if let's find this comment. I think
Yeah, I
it was
see the
pretty
comment
interesting.
here.
Surprise, surprise question. If you could take your art in any direction without fear of failure of or rejection, what would it lead? So that was like a damn good question.
Indeed.
Yeah, and I think I always thought so, and I'm very fearful about it. But I think the direction that I want to go is directing. I want to go to the field of movie creating, because I am very into creating stories, visual
Mm-hmm.
stories.
Mm-hmm.
But it was always a challenge for me to tell a long story rather than a short story.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, movie world was always like cinema, right? Was
Yeah.
always a fearful place. I was always afraid that I'm not good enough. Like I don't know much stuff. Like I'm not ready for this. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt that after couple of decades in photography, maybe I'll be able to shoot anything.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, I understood that actually it will be much better solution to start something right now, like with the small steps, like
Mm-hmm.
not to think about myself as a potentially fucking amazing film director that is like showing off in Cannes, like
Mm-hmm.
wearing like t-shirt in a I don't know, like in a Cannes Film Festival,
Mm-hmm.
but just to make a little steps in this direction. So um, yeah, so if if I was not scared this much as I'm scared right now, I would go to this direction. And hopefully, I have a couple of upcoming projects and a couple of publications, also print publication. But it's like ongoing process. I am I'm talking right now with Murder magazine. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
French publication
Mm-hmm.
house, and we are thinking about like printed edition, and yeah, like printed editorial that will be made like in the collaboration of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to focus a little bit on like long-term goal, which is video. So
Video.
I'm learning right now about editing and a little bit of color grading.
Mm-hmm.
So the upcoming projects are a couple of good publications.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them will be printed even, and hopefully video project that we are discussing right now with
Mm-hmm.
my dear friend Naum. That will be like crazy good if it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you will be happy to see that.
Anyway, I'm very curious all the time and very happy to see progress and activity from your creative. And yeah, for me, I'm not gonna be upset, but I'm missing you being part of my creative journey. But I know that for me, I will take this time to focus on also, curating uh, the things that I'm feeling and going through now. It is coming to, I have this trend for more curation. I have, just before yesterday, I suddenly came out from my room and I start curating. I had no idea that I have such an idea to make like autumn collection now and stuff, but I had this idea. I want to curate coats. I want to curate dresses. I want to curate, and I don't want to follow the how to say the traditional method, but I'm just taking the scissor and the fabric and I'm cutting and it comes whatever it comes. So it's going to be interesting also time for me while you're You're not here, but you're there for your best. No, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna cry, but truly missing you very much. And yeah, we will meet. We'll meet
Yeah,
surely.
hopefully in Europe. Hopefully in
Yeah,
Europe. Hopefully in
yeah.
Italy, maybe. Yeah. How about that? How does it sound? New
Sounds great.
collection will be shoot by me in Italy.
Yes,
Mm?
yes. Amen, amen.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm very grateful for your presence in this live stream. I think it was very nice to talk to you and figure out a little bit about your creative process and your like and little struggles. I think that's very important for every creative person to know that you're not alone, right?
No, no.
So thank you, Bina, so much for
Thank you.
being with me
You're
and
welcome. Thank you.
everybody for listening to it.
Yeah, thanks everyone, and
You
whoever
were the
missed it.
great audience.
Whoever missed it, yeah, but because here you know the situation with Instagram. But anyway, whoever missed it, if you have question for us, you can still write and we will respond because our creative process it's still going, you know, it's not gonna end. So
Yeah, and of course, like if follow Bina for sure, and check out her previous collection and our previous collaboration. There were like bunch of them, like at least three or four, I think maybe five. So
yeah.
check this out and stay healthy and creative. And
And take care of yourself, mental health, physical health, and everything. Love
all
you.
right, love you too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.